It's me, Ben. Sorry, I'm refreshing a lot. Okay, that's good refreshing. All right, now I gotta refresh this one. Okay, that should be that. Hello. I thought Karen might stream with me tonight, but she won't. So she'll be streaming the next few days. She'll be streaming poker. She's busy doing other stuff and so forth. Hello. I can't play you. I'm sorry. I really want to play you too. Darn. Greetings from the Netherlands. I've heard of it. I used to live in Belgium before you were born. Then when you were born, I moved away. How can I play? Well, the pawns move forward 1 or 2 squares. And then once you've moved a pawn, you can only move 1 square. And you capture other pieces with pawns diagonally. Then knights move like an L. Bishops move in a diagonal fashion. Knights can jump over things. Rooks move horizontally and vertically. Queens move like a rook or a bishop, and a king moves 1 square in any direction. There's some special rules like en passant, pawn promotion, and castling, which you're probably not ready for. But that's basically how you play. And if you attack your opponent's king and they have no escape, that's called checkmate. That's what's going to happen to you a lot. They're going to checkmate you. And you'll be frustrated, and you start a drinking problem and terrible. Anyway, that's how you play. Why can you not play me? Exactly. I don't know. You'd think I could, but I can't. It's 3 a.m. in Egypt. It's 3 a.m. and I have work in the morning. Go Egypt. Yeah, it's possible you're staying up too late and you're in denial. Do you guys have that joke in Egypt that you're in denial? Yeah, it's more of an American joke, but it's making fun of denial in Egypt. So. Exactly. Yeah, there we go. You should have that joke. Okay, so this stream, I decided about 20 minutes ago that I'm going to show games that I beat grandmasters a long time ago. And I selected 9 games out of the games I could have selected. And we're going to go over each one. These games were played typically 30 years ago. Some of them might be more recent, but not much more recent. This is like back in the day with Ben, except I'm beating up on GMs. Sometimes the same GM. And so forth. Let's see. So I want to do a marker. I'm not going to be on Chess TV, so we're not going to have any viewers. But it'll be content for the... Come on. Don't go so slow. You're a computer. Go faster. Marker game 1. Oh, Tensor Extension did it. Thanks, Tensor. You showed me. Okay, so these are games I beat grandmasters. First game we're going to look at was played in Chicago in 1994 in an international tournament where I beat Nick DeFermian. I had a good tournament. I tied for second. I lost to Tony Miles, and he won the tournament, and then I didn't lose any other games, and I tied for second, I believe, if I remember correctly. This is one of my favorite games. The game I won against Nick. The other game I won against Nick is also one of my favorite games. I think I like this one better. Is Dr. Bassem Amin a super GM? I don't know. He was a super GM. I don't know if he is now. He's better than the average GM, that's for sure. I'm not sure what kind of doctor he is. But... Okay, so we played a Nimzo Indian. Now let me turn the sound on so I can hear the moves. I always play Queen C2. Let's see which one is on, and I don't know. This one is okay. Okay, and then he castled, which is good. And I played Knight F3, which is the move I usually play. Typically, black plays either D5 or C5 here, or even C4. God damn. Attacking the center. The move that he made, I would consider a tiny mistake. B6. And I played E4. That's how you punish B6. And in this position, he made another mistake. He should play C5, which is interesting. But he played Bishop E7. After Bishop D3, black's position already isn't very good. However, more importantly than beating Nick DeFermian or showing me my game with him, many years ago, Michigan FIDE master, who, like Amin, is also a medical doctor, a friend of mine, he used to give chess players nicknames. So there was a guy in Michigan whose name was Fred. His last name doesn't matter. And he would call him Freddy Fish Cakes for no reason, just it's funny. And he had the best nickname for Nick DeFermian. He called him Dick Dispermian. So make sure you tell your kids that. Do you still teach in Roswell? I teach on the internets. I mean, I'm in Roswell when I'm teaching on the internets. Okay, so my opponent played bishop takes c3, doubling my pawns. I can't take with the queen because my e-pawn is attacked twice. So I take with the pawn. And he played knight e8, which is very passive. Let's see, what happened? Member for 22 months. How would you feel about a Dubov lecture? I would feel okay. Although Dubov recently said that Naroditsky's a cheater. I don't know. Show games that Dubov lost. Okay, so I played h4. I was feeling especially confident this day and played aggressively. Queen e7, e5, threatening h-pawn. Played f5, which the engine agrees with. I took en passant because I knew the en passant rule. And here the engine says he should play knight takes f6. He took with the g-pawn. Okay, and I played bishop h6. And the engine says that white's already winning, has a winning score, 1.7. Rook f7. And then I played the hyper-aggressive rook h3, which is the right move. And he played knight c6, which is another mistake. Yeah. Okay. So when I played this game, I was working with Gregory Kaidanov as my coach as part of the Sanford Fellowship. And I remember when I showed him this game, he was like trying to guess the moves I made before I showed him. And the next like 5 moves, he was like, rook g3 check. And I was like, no, I like his king on g8. I like it's on the open file. So here I played a really nice move that Kaidanov didn't consider, and he was very impressed. And the engine says it's the best move. So let's see if you guys can guess what white did in this position. You can guess on YouTube or on Twitch, or both. Rook check is a good answer. Excellent answer. I mean, if you're being funny, it's a good answer. Hey, the guy whose name is Anexi Dro, Dan Stria. Yeah, that is what I played, although it doesn't get a question mark. King B1 would also be good, but I played King F1, which is the best move, because I want my rook to go to E1 on the half open file. Okay, he played knight D6, and I did play rook E1, and he played bishop A6, attacking my C pawn. Okay, now this game was played a long time ago when I was younger, so I was good at calculating. So I played D5, attacking his knight. He can't take on D5 because his queen's hanging. So he played knight A5. Then I calculated a very long variation, which seems to be good for white, although just letting him take my pawn is also good for white. So everything's good for white. I played DE, DE, and I didn't need, there was no reason for this to be called ED, because this game was played 30 years ago. So there was no ED. It was just DE then. Okay, and probably like 2% of you got that joke. Maybe 3%. If you didn't get that joke, you're the majority, so that's fine. Okay. Haha, I am the new style. It's the new style, 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. And when I'm on the mic, the suckers run. Down with Mike D and you ain't. Got more rhymes than Picasso got paint. I'm not surprised you're on Mike D. Beastie. Oh yeah, that's me. What year is this game? 1994. Okay, so now I calculated a long variation. Although the engine doesn't play it, probably I'm better than today's engine because this was a long time ago. I played knight D4. He played E5, which the engine gives, and then I played C5. And when I played DE and knight D4 and C5, I had calculated bishop D3, queen D3, BC, knife F5, knife F5, queen F5, and I thought this was good for me. And the engine says I'm +1, but before all of these operations, it said I was +2. So it doesn't like what I did, but it really likes my position. Okay, he played knight C6, which is fine. I played rook E4, still +1. He played knight D8. Engine says he should play king H8 instead. Yay, Chess Lions is raiding with a party of 5. What about the Chess Tigers? Go Chess Lions. Who would have won if Fischer played Karpov in 1975? Probably Fischer. But I don't know, because who knows? Okay, and now I played rook A4, because I want to play rook A6. He played king H8, which is the engine move. Then I played the engine move, rook D3. And he played C6, which is not the engine move. It says that's terrible. Okay, now, no matter how good you are, Mr. New Style, this one's going to be tough for you. Unless you've already seen the game or you're using an engine. Then okay, I got you. Then you can solve it. Here I played the best move, and this is one of the top 10 moves I'm most proud of in my life, is the move I played here. And the engine says it's way better than other moves. That's one of the reasons I'm proud of it. I've said this before on stream, and I'll say it again. I used to be good. Like if Magnus played this, they would be like, oh, Magnus is the greatest player ever, and nobody else would play this move, and so forth. Yeah, I'm analyzing games in my life that I've beaten grandmasters. So we have to go back a long time. This game was played 30 years ago. Yeah, this move is top 10 of me being impressed with myself. C4 is explosive. It is. Where's that guy who claimed he was 2,500? Where's his answer? Oh, snap. Yeah, like if I was coaching Magnus, which sounds funny, this is how I would coach him. I would look at all the games I've ever played. I would find 10 positions where something ingenious did happen or could have happened, and then I would let him analyze it on his own and see if he could come up with it. And in like a 40-year chess career, I only have about 10 positions that are like at Magnus's level. So this is one of them. Anybody? All right, your answers are all shallow and pedantic. Okay, so here's why I played the move that I played. Okay, the answer is the best move by far is King G1. And the reason I played King G1 is the following. I thought my opponent would play Knight E6 because my opponent wants to play Knight E6. Then I would play Rook A6, attacking his pawn. Then I thought he would play Queen B7, attacking my rook. Then I take his knight, he takes my rook, I take his rook, he takes my rook with check, and then he plays Queen G6 and he's winning. But if he doesn't take my rook with check, I have mate in 1. So that's why I play King G1, so that when I play Rook A6, Queen B7, if his knight's on E6, I'm winning. Also, my king's better on G1. And in fact, in this position, the engine does give Knight E6, and that's what he played. The king's better on G1 anyway, because if he plays like Rook B8, Rook B1, I want to play King H2, not King E2. Okay, so he played Knight E6, I played Rook A6. Now, the engine says the best move is Knight D8. That's a tough move to make once you've just played Knight E6. So he played C4, which is explosive, and I played Rook to D2, which for reasons I don't understand is much better than Rook D1. Okay. Oh, I know why it's better than Rook D1. I probably knew during the game too, but I'm not good now. I was good then. If he plays Rook D8, in this position, I can play Queen takes E6. And if my Rook is on D1, then I cannot play Queen takes E6. So I guess that's why I played Rook D2 to stop Rook D8. 200 bits. Always play King G1. That's right. If you choose the best game you've played, what would you choose? I don't know. This is top 15. Okay, he played Queen E8, and I have a story to tell you. Even though this is 30 years ago, I clearly remember he played Queen E8. His hand was still on the queen, and then he put it back on E7, and then he's like, well, I got to play Queen E8 if I move my queen. But he realized when he played Queen E8 before he let go that it wasn't a good move. Now, luckily for him, the engine says I'm up 2.36. So if he plays perfectly, he's still lost. The best move is Knight G7. Okay. And the reason Queen E8 is a mistake, it defends C6, but now I have Rook D6, which I didn't have before. Now it says I'm +3. And now material's equal, but my king is safer, my queen is better, my rooks are better, and F6 and C4 are quite weak. So completely winning for white. He played Queen F8. I put it in H. Rook B8. I put it in H again. King G8's the best move. Then I'm +4.22. Played King H8. Now I'm +6. Okay, now he played for tricks. but he forgot that tricks were for kids. He played Rook B1 check. And so the question is, should I play King H2 or should I take the Rook? And those are the only two legal moves. So some of you are going to get it right. Thanks, Revolved for subscribing. And thanks, Fen Beingold, again. So should I take the Rook or should I play King H2? One person says take the Rook. One says King H2. One says resign. One says takey take. A lot of interesting answers. Doe48109 subscribed. King H2, then Rook C8 at the end. What? Offer draw. Just resign. I don't like Queen H6, so take Rook. Okay, and then Life Fire Life gave a good variation. King H2 gives a much better endgame, but after King H2, Queen H6, we just trade queens, and White has a very nice endgame. Maybe winning, maybe not. But Queen takes just wins immediately, because after Rook takes, he can't take my Rook because of Queen B8 is going to be mate soon. So here he resigned. So I like that game a lot. And I remember when I showed it to Kaidanov, who I was working with, he said that somebody who's 2,500 FIDE cannot play that well. So insinuating I was playing much better than my rating, much better understanding. So obviously, he's just trying to make me confident because he's a good coach. I never tell my students that. I'm like, you're 1,700. No 1,700's ever played that badly. You're the worst. But he told me I played better than I did to like boost my confidence. And so forth. Okay, so that was game one. Now we'll saunter on to game two. And I don't think I've ever shown this game on stream. And remember, these are games that I've beaten grandmasters. This was in the Canadian Open in 1994. If Sensor Extension or Pat could make a thing. Yeah, thanks, Tensor Extension. So the guy whose nickname was Freddie Fishcakes, we actually drove to this tournament in Winnipeg, Manitoba from Ann Arbor. So that took 2 days. And it was about 1,100 miles, I think. Although I'm not sure. I think we stopped at the Mall of Americas, too. The only time I've ever been there. Which was relatively new then. Now it's the oldest thing ever. So this was also played 30 years ago in Winnipeg. I have a funny story about this tournament. I played Icelandic Grandmaster Margir Pedersen, and I also played Margir Pedersen in 1988 at the World Chess Festival in St. John, New Brunswick. And as a consequence, Pedersen thought I was Canadian. And my response was like, shouldn't I think you're Canadian? Like, he thought, I've played you twice. It was both in Canada, so I thought you were Canadian. And I'm like, why can't I think you're Canadian? But anyway, I'm American and he's Icelandic, and we've played twice in Canada. The Canadian Open typically has like 5 to 10 GMs that are foreign that play in the tournament because they offer them conditions. And Julian Hodgson was one such player. He was one of the top 10 players in Britain, and probably at his absolute peak, he was top 5. Okay, I don't remember this game at all. I just remember the end of it. Like, I couldn't even tell you what opening it was. I haven't looked at this game in 30 years. Okay, this is how I play now. So okay, I play bishop e6. Yeah, I wouldn't play that now. The engine says I'm playing okay. It says I'm slightly worse. It actually thinks he should take with the D pawn. Yeah, now it says he's just slightly better. Yeah, it looks a lot like a Grunfeld. It says that's a mistake. It says I should play rook d8. None of these moves or positions I recognize at all. I don't remember this game at all. Thanks, C Luigi. Sounds like you're making fun of something and then putting Luigi at the end. Yeah. Some kind of Lord of the Rings or something. I don't know. Something. Anyway, thanks for subscribing. Okay, so Queen A6. I should have played Rook D8, it says. It says that's a mistake. And it says that's a mistake. It says I should play Bishop C4, and it's about equal. Yeah, it says I'm in trouble here. It says he's up 0.8. Now it says that's a mistake. He's only up 0.2. Now he's up 0.3. Now he's up 0.4. Now he's up 0.3. Now he's up 0.6. Doesn't like e6. Okay, and I played knight c4. Says that's good. Bishop f4 is good. Knight a3 is a blunder that loses. I should play queen c2, and I'm slightly worse. And then queen d7 is winning for him. He's up 2.5 now. Bishop e4, the only winning move. d5 is winning. He's +4 now. And he takes on e6, and he's winning. He did. Knight e1. King h1. And even though I'm up a rook, I'm completely lost. Here I played the engine move, rook c8. That's actually the best move. So if I take on e6, I just get checkmated. Queen e6 and queen here. My king's getting mated. Okay, now it says he has mate in 10. And he played it. Takes. Check. Takes. Takes. King h5. Now he played by far the best move. What's the best move for white? What was the first time you met Hikaru? I mean, I don't know, 30 years ago, I guess. Something like that. Maybe not 30, maybe 25 years ago. Queen h6. That doesn't even make any sense. Why would you give your queen away so you could queen? Then you have the same position without your f-pawn. You're banned. Anyway, the correct answer is the move that he played to defend h2. God damn. Okay, so he played bishop takes g6 check. And now, no matter what I do, it's mate. For example, if I play hg, then all is not wells. And I know that because I had to go to a time machine to look at this game. Then he plays queen h8, king g5, queen h4, king f5, and queens with check. So I took with the king. And this position, I played king g5. In this position, queen z8 is forced mate, and queen e7 is forced mate. They're both mate in 4. And after those moves, it says I should play king h6 and let him queen with check. God damn. That's the best defense. Not a good defense. Yeah. And also, I think there's some lines where he can promote to a knight with check, which is totally unnecessary. He can play, if I take the bishop, queen check, queen f5 check, and queen mate or bishop mate. Okay, and in this position, I was declared the winner, and the game ended. And what I just said is true. That's why you've never seen this game. Yeah, his flag fell. We were playing with an analog clock because it was 1994. And I said, your time's down. And he said, like, what? Oh. He didn't realize that he had so little time because he thought like 5 seconds here. And I remember he actually made a move. I think it was queen e7, but the move wasn't recorded because he made the move and didn't hit the clock. Even if he did hit the clock, he still loses. You have to make 40 moves with your flag up. So I won on time in this game, in this position. And he either played here or here, and I think he played queen e7, and it's just mate. Like, I can't avoid getting mated. On the other hand, if it's my move, then I have mate. So that's a game I beat a GM on time on move 39. That's right, his fault for looking at the game. The arbiter came, saw how unfair it was, and ended the game. Yeah. Pure skill. Too many Labats. Somebody's texting me? Who would text me? The Hard Rock Casino in Tulsa. Hi at first name. All right. I got some emails. It says I'm on YouTube. Duplicate Bridge Association. Dear Ben. Interesting. Okay, so I won. Go, Ben. Okay, next game has a similar theme. This was played in 2001 at the World Open against Jan Elvest. And as you all know, I tied for first in the World Open in 2002, but not in 2001. So somebody, oh, you did a marker already. Okay, so I'm black against Elvest. He's the king. This game I remember somewhat because it was only played 23 years ago, so it's more recent than the previous game. Okay, so far so good. Engine says it's about equal. It doesn't like knight g5. It wants me to take on c3 and play e5. It says he's slightly better, 0.5. Doesn't like that move. Now it says he's +1. Doesn't like queen d8. Now it says he's +1.6. So he's just winning strategically here with my bad pawn structure and bad bishop. Try to get my bishop to a good square. Yay, I traded bishops. Now he's only up 1.4. Always play f3. Man, I played really badly in 2001. God damn. Okay. Now he's up 1.7. Okay, and that's a blunder. We were in time trouble here. It says he should play queen d1 defending his pawn, and he's up 1.6. Queen here doesn't get the job done because he can play queen f1, I guess. Now, after I take, it says he's only up 0.35. And it says that's a mistake. Now, I can equalize with rook f4. God damn. After rook f4, the engine says all zeros. Okay, I played queen b2. Now he's slightly better again. And then I took on a3. Now it says he's only slightly better, like 0.2. And here I should play g6, and he's only up 0.2. But I played king h6. Now he's up 4 plus 4. And g4 is a blunder. He should play rook takes d5, and he's plus 4. Now it's like equal again. And then g6 is a blunder. I should play queen c3, and it's equal. We were in time trouble here, so we're just moving quickly. And rook e6 is a blunder. He should play rook takes e5, and he's winning. Or d5. And once again, the clock was stopped, and I was declared the winner. Go, Ben. And I won. Go, Ben. Stop the count. Exactly. So in this game, we were playing on like a BHB, like a small clock, analog clock. And we were blitzing the last 10 moves. We both had less than a minute. And I was writing the moves down and he wasn't. And in this position, he actually made a move. I don't know what move he made, but he made a move. The engine says if he plays check, he's plus 6. And if he plays queen c2, he's plus 3. And I remember when the game ended, the engine at that time said he was like plus 1.4. So I don't know what move he made. He did make a move, and I wrote it down, and then I said, your time's down. His flag fell. And he wasn't surprised his flag fell. We were both playing really quickly. He was slightly surprised I had my score filled out. So he was on move 30. He took my score. He filled out the score. He was done, and then he put his hand out to shake my hand. I've never seen such behavior. Okay, anybody else would have said, I made 40 moves and the score's wrong and everybody's cheating. And he filled in the score very quickly. And then he put his hand out like, you win. And he knew that if he made 40 moves and his flag was down, that he loses. You have to make 40 moves and you still have time on your clock. He didn't, I was ready for him to say, I've made 40 moves. And we get the arbiter, and the arbiter would rule in my favor, and he just put his hand out, and the game ended. But yeah, I was keeping score, and he wasn't. So it's good I was keeping score. Anyway, I win because I play so well. I don't love you, but I like you a lot. Also, what? Yeah. My dad used to say that. Hey, we have 1,000 viewers. We must have been embedded or something. Go Denmark. So that's 2 games I beat grandmasters who are pretty good. Now, this is probably confusing the audience. At the time that I beat them in a slow game, This is probably the highest rated player I've beaten. Elvest's FIDE rating was 2630. And when I lost to Jeffrey Shong 4 years ago in the World Open, he was 2705 or something. And he was the only 2700 player I've ever played in a rated game, slow game. So 2630, I mean, I've beaten people who have been higher than 2630, but I don't think they were when I beat them. So that's how I beat the highest rated players I ever play. Their flag falls when they're winning. A friend of mine from a long time ago, he didn't understand when people said, I'm shocked, but I'm not surprised. It's like being shocked and being surprised is like similar, and probably shock is more of a surprise than surprise. I would say shocked is stronger than surprise. And yet they were shocked but not surprised. That doesn't make any sense. And there you go. It was an analog clock. I like the way you spell it, like you're from Britain or something. Put a UE at the end. Okay, next game. Those are the only two games I won on time. So. Go tensor extension. This is against Ferdinand Heller's Swedish GM. Turns out he was born the same year I was. And this was played in Iceland in 1990. I had a very good tournament there. Another game I'm going to show you that I won from there. It's very cold. So I played my usual opening. And I've told this story before on the stream, but some of the viewers are new. So when I was playing in this tournament, my friend Luke Winans passed away a couple of years ago. He was the best player in Belgium when I lived in Belgium. And he lived, a few miles from me, and he'd come over sometimes. I never went to his place. Huh? Anyway, we used to analyze this opening together. He played it before I did, and he showed me the ropes. And anyway, we got a position I never got before, which is this one. Okay. And when I went to Reykjavik to play in the tournament, this wasn't like you go on the internet and see the other games of the tournament. This was 1990. So we didn't do that. In 1990, you had to wait for magazines or books to be published so you could see games from tournaments. Anyway, I got home from Reykjavik. I flew from Reykjavik to Luxembourg, and then I took a train from Luxembourg to Brussels, and then I took a taxi, I think, to my apartment. I walked into my apartment, and my phone rang when I walked in. And I said, hello. And he said, hey, Ben, it's Luke. I just came back from a tournament in Lyon. It was the zonal for the France, the Netherlands, and Luxembourg. France, Belgium, Netherlands. And I said, I just got back from a tournament in Reykjavik. And he said, how did you do? And he's telling me how he did. How did I do? And I said, I beat Hellers with black in 23 moves. And his response to that was Queen A4. That was his response. And I said, how did you know? So he guessed what opening it was, what color I had, what position we had, and what mistake Hellers made. That's why some people are grandmasters and some people are you. That was one of the most amazing things I ever heard on the phone, was Queen A4. It was all just a guess. So I said, how did you know? And he said, in Lyon, I had this position, and my opponent was considering Queen A4, then realized it was bad and played some boring move, and the game ended in a draw soon thereafter. Okay, and queen a4 loses the game. And there's a book you never heard of because you're not old enough called ECO. And if you were alive in the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, then you've heard of ECO. And one of the ECOs, which is the C one, it's blue, it covers this variation, and it just says queen a4, and then it says it's interesting. There's no analysis. It is like MCO. That's true. Did you know Fisher personally? No. Never met Fisher. A Lonely Zen subscribed. Thank you. Okay, so now black is winning. Can anybody explain how? Anybody? Sasun got it. And Sasun's on YouTube instead of Twitch. That's crazy. Don't let Sasun go down on me. Don't let Sasun. You were shocked but not surprised? The truth hurts. Yeah, there we go, C.L. Smith. G5. When I played G5, my opponent put his head down and shook his head for like a minute. Okay, so he played bishop G3, and I played G4, and now if he moves his knight, I take his knight. So the engine says I'm plus 2.28. He played rook a d1, which is the engine move. My queen's attacked, so I moved it. And here I played the best move, by far the best move, knight h5. Want to take his bishop. He played queen c6, attacking my rook. The engine says I should play bishop a6, but I took the bishop, which is also winning. And then here it says I should play bishop b7, which I did. And he has 2 pawns for a piece, but he doesn't have any passed pawns. And in this position, I was always confused. He played queen c6, and I played the engine move again because my pawn's attacked. This pawn's attacked, but I just played king g7 because I don't want to lose any of my pawns. And this position, I always got confused. So, like, oh, I think I unconfused myself. No, I'm still confused. So in this position, like I'm threatening this pawn, and it looks like I'm threatening this pawn, but I'm not. Because if I take this pawn, he takes my bishop. Because my bishop's pinning his pawn. So I didn't understand why he played rook d3. I thought he should defend his e-pawn. The engine also doesn't defend his e-pawn. I don't understand why he's not defending his e-pawn and why the engine doesn't. I'm very confused. All right, let's defend the pawn. It says rook a d8 is +4. Okay, that's fine. Okay, he played rook d3. I don't understand. And in this position, he resigned. Very reasonable. And when I showed this game to my housemates, because we were staying at a guest house in Reykjavik, and the other housemates were Keith Arkell, and he was married to Susan Arkell at the time, and Howell, James Howell, not David Howell. I don't think David Howell was born yet. James Howell is a British IM, and Thomas the Hitman Ernst, the Swedish IM who later became a GM. And when I showed them the game, I said, here Heller's resigned. And they were like, why did he resign? Sort of insulting to me. I'm like, he's down a piece and he's got nothing. The engine says I'm plus 3.76. Also, obviously, he was upset at letting me play g5 and win. What the housemates should have said is, I'm going to show you the game I beat Hellers, and one of them should have said queen a4. That would have made more sense. Yeah, Tomas the Hitman Ernst. Good nickname. All these people quit chess. Although Keith Arkell still plays. I think Susan still plays too. She married Bogdan Lalich. I don't know if they're still married. Her and Keith got divorced and she married Lalich. But I don't know if her and Lalich are still married. And her maiden name, which nobody knows but me, even she doesn't know, is Susan Walker. So she was Susan Walker, then Susan Arkell, then Susan Lalich, and now I don't know if she's still married to Lalich. She was about 2,200, and I have a funny story about her. There was a Blitz tournament that was very strong, where I actually tied for third in Reykjavik, and there was a game between Keith Arkell and somebody like Bronstein. I don't know if it was Bronstein, but it might have been. And I was sitting next to the game because I was playing my game. And I look over, and Keith Arkell's opponent, their flag has fallen, and Keith doesn't notice. And Susan Arkell, under the table, kicked Keith. And then he was like, oh, your flag's down. The truth hurts. But, they're married, so as a couple, I think she's allowed to do that. Now, that joke that I just made is based on a true story. Reshevsky was playing in a tournament, and his wife called his opponent's flag, and Reshevsky said due to Jewish law, they're considered as one, so she's allowed to call his flag. But he wasn't kidding. I was kidding, but they weren't kidding. Reshevsky would approve, right, C.L. Smith? Yeah. The chess version of an angle shoot. That's right. Very good. Anyway, he won on time, so it all worked out for Arkell. Except they got divorced later. Okay, next game, somebody do a thing. Okay, this is also from Reykjavik, just like the previous game. Did somebody do a thing? Thanks for the thing, Pat. This is from Reykjavik, just like the previous game, against Vladimir Tukmakov, the Ukrainian GM, who last 20 years has worked as a coach for a lot of the best players in the world. And this is one of my best games. I played the Feingold opening attack against the Dutch. So I invented this bishop g5, bishop f4, e4. It's not great, but I invented it. So that's the important thing. Now, most of you would take with the knight, and then I would checkmate you. And by most of you, like 95% of you. But Tukmakov saw through that. He took with the f pawn. Knight c3. Played d5. Always play f3. Then I took, and bishop c4. The engine likes black. It doesn't like g5. It says g5 is a mistake. Now that we have engines, the best move for white is knight to d5. God damn. Jesus Christ. Knight d5 is the best move. There's a move I would never consider. Although I didn't know knight d5 was the best move until right now. I haven't looked at this game with a modern engine in a long time. Anyway, I played bishop e5, knight d7, knight b5. The engine says black is +1 here. And then I played the correct move, bishop e2. And now he made the losing move. So the engine says he should trade queens and then play king f7, and he's +1. But he took on e5. That's not the losing move. He's still better. Bishop check. Now he made the losing move, I think. Yes. Knight f7. He should play bishop g6, and he's still better. After knight e7, it says I'm +1. I played knight e2. I'm down 2 pawns, but his king's not looking good. Played e6. I played the correct g4, recommended by Matt Larson way before he was born. Matt Larson's 27. This game was played 34 years ago. And still Matt Larson's like g4. Bishop h7. And now I played the only move to give white an advantage. Let's see which people in the internets can solve it. What's the best move for white? Also, go Tigers. Yasser was actually at this tournament, and I lost to Yasser in the Blitz tournament in Reykjavik, and Yasser won the Blitz tournament, and I came in third. Me and Yasser were like that, son. One of my Blitz games with Yasser, I was black in an exchange Slav, and he just suffocated me. Terrible. The game I was white, I don't remember. I think it was a double Swiss. I think I played him twice. But maybe I'm misremembering that. Maybe I played him once. A couple people got it. Yeah, you don't want a castle because bishop c5 check followed by black castling. So the only way to get an advantage is rook f1. Now he played the best move, bishop g8. God damn. And I played the best move, the only move to give white an advantage. Let's see if you guys can get this one. I stream on YouTube and Twitch at the same time, which is what I'm doing now. We've been doing that for several months. That way we get twice as many donations, except nobody ever donates. But if they did, we'd get twice as many. Also, if we get 0 donations, that's still twice as many as 0. So. Ooh, look at man with head of dog giving the most accurate answer. C.L. Smith, stick to poker. Terrible. Knight e d4. The only move that gives an advantage. He played a very funny move now. That's the hint you're going to get. It's not the best move. It's not the second best move. It's the funniest move. He played the funniest move. Whatever move you suggest, his move is funnier. Oh, you are playing poker. Good. Man, king d7 might be funnier than the move he played. So, son, you might have beaten how funny his move is with a funnier move. Yeah, he played king e7, which a lot of you got. Remember, if you ever want to study the Soviet school of chess, then there you go. That's the Soviet school of chess. After bishop takes f7, it says he should play a6. An interesting move. Okay, I played queen e2. Knight d6 is best. Castles is best. King d7 is best. Knight d6 is fine. Bishop takes is correct. Queen takes is good. King c8 is best. Knight b5 is best. Rook h7 is best. Now in this position, I'm supposed to play bishop e8, a move I would never consider or understand. I played rook d3. Makes more sense to me. a6. Now it says I'm +4. And then rook df3, which is the point. I want to play rook here. King c7 is the best move. Bishop f7 is the best move. Now it says I'm plus 4.5. Although I am a pawn down. Rook c8 is the best move. Bishop e6 is fine. It says he should take it. Because I'm threatening queen here, check. And then I can take one of these guys. Or both of them. So he took, which is correct. And now it's just getting the time control. This is move 28. Yeah, I hung my g-pawn. Like in this position, when I played queen d3, I didn't see my g-pawn was attacked. I just did it so he wouldn't have a check. It doesn't matter, but it's funny that I just didn't see my g-pawn was attacked. Then I made my king safe. And then my 40th move wrapped up the game. And he played here, defending mate. And my 40th move, getting out of time trouble, was rook f8. And then I made the time control by playing rook f8. Now that's a move you want to make the time control with. And then he resigned. The best move being queen a4 check. The second best move, queen a1 check. Although I guess queen b2 is tied for second. Because queen b8 mate is unstoppable. I wouldn't think of it. Unthinkable. When we analyzed the game after, all of this, the Russians, Soviets, and all those guys were like sit on his side, and they were like trying in the middle game to suggest better ways for me to play. And he was getting madder and madder. He was like, I need to find better ways for me to play, not for Ben. So that was funny. What's also funny is the game that I beat Hodgson earlier in Winnipeg, Manitoba, I lost to Tukmakov in that tournament. And Tukmakov won clear first. Where were the Canucks? What? Isn't that the wrong place? Okay, next game. Somebody do a thing. You know a thing? Who will be the NBA champs? I don't know. Boston. Okay, so this game I'm playing Lothar. Now, if you're American, his name is pronounced Vogt, V-O-G-T. If you're German, which he is, it's pronounced Vogt. Vogt. That's the correct pronunciation. Lothar Vogt. And there's actually an NFL player or an MLB player. There's a professional athlete with the same last name now. This guy was East German, and he actually defected into East Germany. So he's a tough guy. I mean, I made that part up, but it was funny. And when I played him, it was East Germany, 1990. Or maybe it was 1989 when they became Germany. I don't know. I played him in Dortmund, it was the Fourth Reich or something. I used to play for Dortmund in the Bundesliga, and I didn't play on their chess team. I played on their soccer team. And they let me play in the chess tournament as a consequence. Well, in 1990, was it still East Germany, or they were West Germany they were Germany by then? I think in 89 they were East Germany, and in 1990 they were Germany. But I don't know, it's 34 years ago. So, I don't know. I was there too. I was in Germany when the wall was coming down. I remember my Bundesliga coach, Jürgen Grasstadt. I said, is the wall going to come down? And his response was, the wall's never going to come down. And true story. The next day, they were tearing the wall down, confusing the audience. Yeah, what was it 1990 that East Germany became part of Germany? Maybe he meant a different wall. That's possible. Anyway, when this game was over, he said, I'm really fucked this time. Somebody asked me who I was playing, and somebody else answered. So this guy's like, who are you playing, Ben? This other guy said, Vogt versus you. Vogt you. That was the pairing. And the truth hurts. Okay, so I'm white. It was an old Indian, I think. Oh, was it King's Indian? I don't remember this being the opening. All right. Now it's a Grunfeld by transposition. And a Carol Khan. Bishop CE5. The engine says boo. By the way, I won this game on time. I'm not kidding. I did win this on time. But when I won on time, I was winning. So that doesn't count. It says that he's slightly better. Marginally better. Now it says I'm slightly better. Now it says he's slightly better. Now it says he's clearly better. Damn. Now it's equal again. He should have played knight e4. Now it says I'm slightly better. Yeah, I played h3, the best move. He should have played bishop g4. I assume he didn't like e6. g5 is best. Now it says I'm very slightly better. Ooh, it says that move's terrible. I should play bishop b1. Now he should play rook c5, which he did. Now it says he's winning. To pawn up for nothing. Now it says knight g6 is winning. Ah, but after that he's only slightly better. Knight g6 is better. The idea is he wants to play bishop h6. And if I play f4, he can probably take it. That's why knight g6 is the only winning move. Yeah, now it says I'm okay. I'm slightly worse. It says that's terrible. I should play knight f3 instead. It says that's bad. Oh no, it says that's good. And now it says that I'm okay. Doesn't like that move. Okay, in this position, black played by far the best move. What did black play? Go Ben is correct. So it's funny. I thought my opponent was a robot for a second because when the game started, I said, "Hello, I'm Ben Feingold. What's your name?" And like it was like there was a list of responses he was thinking of, and then he picked one and he said, "Vogt you, asshole." I couldn't believe he said that. And I said, "Why are you so nasty?" He said, I'm German. And I was like, oh, never mind. Some people got it, the right answer to the question. Rook takes a3. God damn. Okay, then I played a very unusual move. Knight takes e6. The engine says that's fine. Then he took, which is best. I took, which is best. He took, which is best. Took, which is... Oh, I played here. That's a blunder. I should take this. And he's up 0.9. Now it says bishop h6 is winning, which he played. It says rook f4 is winning. Ooh, it says that's equal. It says rook takes f4. He's plus 2.37. But instead he played here in time trouble. Now it says it's equal. Now it says I'm better. Rook a4 is the best move. Rook c4 is the best move. Rook b6 is good. h4 is the best move. Rook e4 is the best move. Man, no wonder I won this game. Rook b7 is the best move. That's a mistake. King g1's okay. And then he blundered with this. He should play rook f5, and it says I'm 1.32 ahead. But he played here in time trouble. Okay, what should white do? Like, if I was giving lessons to C.L. Smith, which I'm not, I probably will be in the future, probably poker lessons. This would be a kind of position I would show him and say, what would you do with white? Then he would give an incomplete answer that's too short. Then I would say, think further. Then he would be like, yeah, don't do that. I'm playing 4 tables at once. So, he wouldn't think further. Go further, C.L. Smith. I know, go further. I know King f3. Now go further. There's something you have to see. But you gave the answer I thought you would give, then you didn't go far enough. Yeah, so Sun went further. Right. After King f7, you have to play h5. It's the only winning move, which I saw when I played this. And then in this position, he took on e4, or I played here. Now instead of King f7 and then h5 is the only winning move, he took here with check, and his flag fell. He made the 40th move, his flag fell, so he lost on time. But it doesn't matter. Like, I'm still going to win anyway. Yeah, after king takes h5, white wins very easily, etc. Mainly, etc. But yeah, he took this and his flag fell. C.L. Smith 4-tabling it, so he thought king f3, h5 was too easy. He was valked right from the start. Then he moved to America and changed the pronunciation of white, so nobody knew who he was. He was valked, then he was avoiding the gendarmes. Why not rook f4? I don't know when. Rook f4 is illegal here. Rook f4 is illegal here. And rook f4 for black doesn't make any sense here. So I think when you're suggesting it, it's illegal. Oh, you're down to 3 tables. No, that's not good. Unless you won the tournament. Okay, next game. We need Pat. So this is a very funny game. Thanks, Pat. So this is a funny game. I'm playing Alexander Ivanov, and I don't know who he is. If you know who he is, it's funny. Alexander Ivanov behaves strangely at the board. He's like this. Okay, so he does that a lot. And then he never moves. Now, if you play Alexander Ivanov, he's not going to move. But I didn't know that. This is my first game with him. So he's not moving, and I'm like, why does this guy never move? But, I mean, after I knew who he was, then I understood that. And at he was at the 1990 Olympics in Novi Sad, and I remember Golko saying Alexander Ivanov would be Karpov if he wasn't crazy. He would be Karpov. Ivanov's really good, but he's a little crazy. Also, he gets blackout drunk occasionally. Okay, so I'm playing him and he's not moving. The time control is like 30 and 90, okay? And there's no increment and no delay because it was 1992. We know what the fuck that was. Just playing with a clock. And it's moved 10 and he's almost out of time for 30 and 90. And I was told this is normal. But I didn't know that. Okay. So I'm white. I like to play E takes D sometimes in the Benoni. Bishop G4 is not a good move. Yeah, it says Queen B3 is not good because of Knight D7, but I took. Now it says he's better. I never knew he was better. Oh, Queen B8's a blunder. He should play Rook B8 and he's slightly better. Okay, this is move 12. So he's in terrible time trouble already. He sacrifices a piece, which I take. And then I guess he missed my next move. I guess. So what's the best move for white? White's winning if white plays the correct move here. Thanks, chess coach John. I'm the best player in my chair. So your answers are shallow and pedantic. Rook B1, like my knight's hanging. What? Well, Knight B5 hangs this bishop. So. Anyway, all your answers are terrible. The correct answer, which somebody gave 2/3 of, is Knight to D2. So I save my bishop. If he takes my bishop, I take back with the knight. My knight's defended and his bishop's attacked. So he played here, and now I should play Rook FB1, and then I'm winning. But I played here, which is also very good. Now I'm +3, so what did he do wrong? Oh, here he has to play Rook FD8. Well, he was in time trouble, so this is a blunder. Yeah, now he has to play Rook FD8 again. Yeah, now I'm +3. I just knew I was going to win on time, so I didn't care. But I didn't win on time. But look at this completely winning. He's just down material. No compensation. And then he resigned here. So when the game ended, I thought, this guy's the worst player ever. He never moves. And when he does move, he plays terrible. So I'm like, this guy's just awful. And then that was the only game I've ever beaten him. And I've played him like 8 times since. And I have just losses and draws. And when I draw, I'm lucky. But yeah, when I first played him, I didn't know who he was. When the game ended, I'm like, this guy's the worst player ever. He plays really slow and really bad. And then that was it. I never could get the better of him again. But that was a fun game, not knowing who he was and so forth. And so on. Okay, next game. Another Defermian game. Anybody? Where's Pat? Where's my mods? There we go. Tensor extension. MPAT. Okay, so this was played in Salt Lake City at the U.S. Championship in 1999. This was my second U.S. Championship, and this was the only game that I won. And I played really nicely this game. This is one of my best games. Like, two of my best wins ever against a Fermion. And there's a funny story about this game. So, in 1989, I was playing in a tournament in Belgium, and I needed a win in the last round to get my final IM norm. And I did win. And then I called FIDE, and I said, I just got my last IM norm that's a round robin norm. How do I apply for the title, or what's next? And they said, you are an IM. They said I didn't need that norm, even though I had no round robin norms, which you did need. US Chess applied for my title and was approved without having the norm because my rating was so high and my norms were so good. But anyway, the point of that story is this. In my game with Fermion from 1999, which is 10 years after the game I was just talking about, we got this position. Okay, and I was wondering, like, what I should play here with white. So I went in the database after the game, and I looked at the games in this position to see what white should play. The first game that popped up was the game I just talked about. 10 years ago, I had white in this position, and I played differently, and I won. So that's funny that the main game in this position was already a game that I had played, but I forgot. Even though I annotated the game, I forgot like how it went. Okay, so I played Rook B1 against Nick. He played Knight D7, which is a very bad move, because he wants to play F5, but he's blocking his bishop, so Queen C2 stops him from playing F5. He doesn't have a really good way to play F5 anymore, so his game's just bad. So he played here, here, and here so he could bolster F5. And I played Rook F1, which was a move I was proud of, because I realized I wanted to play F4 at some point. Yeah, his game just sucks here. Thanks, chess coach John, for subscribing. When I showed everybody in the tournament the game, they asked me to show them, like Yasser. They said they thought that Nick should run his king over here now. Yeah, I think he takes F4 is also bad. Yeah, it doesn't like that. And the truth hurts. That's a bad move. It says I'm +4. So, like, this threatens a discovered check, but the discovered check doesn't matter because I can play Queen G3. So it's not even a threat. Now it says I'm +5. And then King H7 was the 40th move that he just played. So now we got to, like, slow down because we were in time trouble. And I thought for a while, and I made the move that has to be made. So what did I do in this position? Yay, Big Daddy gave 1 bit. Yeah, I played Rook takes G7 because always sack the exchange. Then he took, and I played D6. Now he should resign, but he played here. Now, what move did I play to end the game? Yeah, D7. Knight E4 check is also winning all of his pieces. But yeah, I played D7 instead of taking his rook. And then he resigned. Because he can't stop me from queening. So that was good because Nick never got any counterplay. I just solely... That was the only game I won in the tournament. Terrible. That wasn't a good tournament for me. There's a funny story about that tournament. I was on ICC, which is Internet Chess Club, which was the chess site at the time in 1999. And somebody said something to me, and I responded, and their name was Rainey. And it said, told Rainey, who's under the beautiful night sky in Utah. That was the away message that she had. And I said, oh, you're in Utah. I'm in Utah also. And she said, where are you? And I said, I'm at the Holiday Inn in Salt Lake City playing in the U.S. Championship. And she said, did you want to go out tomorrow? So I said, okay, I have a round tomorrow. Then when the round ends, I actually have a free day the next day. So we could go out and I don't have to be back so early. And she said, okay, I'll be wearing a black dress. So I'm playing my game. I don't remember who I was playing. And I see a woman show up in a black dress. And then my game ended and she took me out. And the next round was like in 36 hours or something like that. Maybe more. And I didn't show up until the round started. I didn't show up back at the hotel. And when I walked in, the players all laughed because like I disappeared for a day and a half. So that was a funny story. But somehow I didn't know who I was playing when I went to the board. I was playing Kaidanov, and I thought I was playing somebody else. Kaidanov crushed me. Man, the truth hurts. So if you ever see a game I played in Salt Lake City against Kaidanov, I didn't know I was playing him until I sat down. And then during the round, I went to my room to change clothes, and a director went with me. You know, to stop cheating and stuff. Cheating in 1999? Now, here's the funny part. 1994 was my first U.S. championship, and Golko won. My second U.S. championship was 1999, and Golko won. And I think that was it. I think those are the two that he won, the first two that I played in. Man, that was a long time ago. God damn, 1999. Okay, last game. That reminds me of a funny story. Tarjan was playing in the interzonal somewhere in Europe. We'll say Bucharest. I'm just making that up. And Yasser Sarawan was his coach for the interzonal, like paid by the U.S. Chess Federation. During the tournament, Tarjan met a woman, and he didn't care about the tournament anymore. He just hung out with her all the time, and they didn't prep for his games anymore. He didn't have a good interzonal. Okay, this is against Sergei Kudrin. I was just talking to a friend of mine about this game, so that's why I thought of it. This is a line in the Sicilian that I invented. This is all theory. And in this position, most people castle, but I play knight d7. And then after h4, I play bishop b7, which I invented. And then after queen g3, I play king f8. So I play this all the time. And nobody plays it, and the engine says it's horrible. But I have good results with it. So you might see me have this position on the stream. Okay, so Kudrin plays king b1. Bishop c7's good move. f4 is okay. Engine says my position's terrible. It says that white has a big advantage here. Yeah, and it doesn't like that move. It says he still has an advantage, but it prefers e5. Yeah, here it wants him to play queen b3 attacking my bishop. Even though knight takes defends my bishop. Oh, now it says queen a3 is better. Okay. It doesn't like that move. It says he should play g4, and he's much better. Now it says it's about equal. And it says that's a bad move. He should take with the queen. And now it says I'm better. Doesn't like rook f2. And now it says he's close to lost. I remember he offered me a draw around here. He offered me a draw at some point around this position, but I declined. Yeah, his position just sucks now. My knight's so good on f5. And it looks like I castled. You guys don't know. Yeah, he's just lost here. His pawns are all weak. Yeah, rook c4 is a mistake. Bishop takes d4 is a mistake too. What was I going to do on rook takes d4? I don't know. Oh, rook takes g2 wins immediately. Okay, that's what I was going to do. Yeah, he's just down the exchange for nothing. So I wrapped it up. And then after rook e3, he resigned. Yeah, that was one of my better games. But the engine doesn't like that opening at all. It says that opening is frankly terrible. Anyway, it looks like I castled. So there you go. And I was told during the game, Danny Kopech was doing live commentary for some site, maybe ICC. And somewhere around like this position, he said, yeah, Feingold's just going to get checkmated. His position's already lost. That's what somebody told me. But then I won. Go Ben. That's not the only game I've beaten Kudrin either. He's beaten me a couple times. I've beaten him a couple times. So that's fair. Yay, 100 bits. Thank Arctic Bear. You're the best. Yeah, he does have a large head. That is correct. The famed dragon player. Yeah. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Go Tigers. Go Kamala. Go etc. And I'm going to be watching the news all night to see what's happening with the hurricane. Stay safe out there. I hope if you're in the hurricane zone, you guys have escaped and you're battening down the hatches and all that stuff. It's going to be terrible. And hopefully it'll be over in a couple days and there won't be many casualties, but there probably will be. All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. We're going to raid somebody. Anybody play chess? Elena, Chess Bra. Let's see. Raid. We'll do Chess Bra. Just to show that I'm not mad about Aman stealing my checkmate. All right. I'll see you guys Friday. Tomorrow, Karen's going to stream all day. Poker. So probably for 7 or